Matthew Perret, Executive Director of the Canadian Beef Centre of Excellence, joins us here on RealAgriculture, and we're at the Canadian Beef Industry Conference here in Calgary, and you've been doing demos with showing different cuts of beef, and all of them look delicious. I'm not sure, I haven't been able to try all of them, but when you're doing these demos for a cattle industry crowd like this, what are some of the points or messages that you get across, try to get across to the audience?
Oh, good question. I would say a big focal point for us at the Center of Excellence is really bringing more value to the carcass. Center cuts are absolutely lovely, delicious, and beautiful, and in high demand, but there is definitely a carcass balancing component that we really try to focus on. And so we're using underutilized cuts like the belly, like the tri-tip that we just showed, and also the brisket, the chuck. We're finding a lot of hidden gems in the chuck. And what we're doing at the Center of Excellence is really showing food service operators, chefs, international buyers, and domestic, how to work with those underutilized cuts to really bring profit into their business and also bring more profit to the Canadian beef industry.
Okay, you've answered my next question. That was going to be, what is the Canadian Beef Centre of Excellence, and what do you guys do?
Yeah, our Center of Excellence is, we work for producers. So as I mentioned, bringing value to the Canadian beef. We bring folks from all over the world. We bring them from Latin America, from Asia. These are established buyers that are coming to Canada to become ambassadors of the Canadian beef brand. And what we do there is really ideation. We have workshops where we do cutting. We demonstrate Western cutting techniques, which is they're not necessarily familiar to other markets. And so we're teaching them how to cut steaks, how to also find opportunities for profitability within larger muscles that they can actually break down and find those hidden gems, as we call them.
Okay, so Canadian beef, we hear it all over the place, known for its quality. Yeah. How would you describe Canadian beef relative to what these international visitors are seeing elsewhere?
You know, that's a really interesting question, and the product really it stands up and it speaks for itself in a lot of ways, and I'll touch on that. But one of the things that really connects us with these folks is really that we are Canadian, and the values that Canadians stand for, and that translates into a superb quality product. And so we're building relationships with people from other places and also other Canadians to really recognize the amount of work, the amount of care, the love that goes into the product, the passion that comes through, and then all the way from the producer through the packing, through the processors, cutters, and then chefs. You know, there's a long chain of commitment to that quality, and so in that relationship, we're demonstrating the love that goes into it, and that really comes out in the beautiful taste, the marbling, the richness, the clean taste of the beef, the purity of it. It's really something that we really connect with.
Okay. You mentioned how you're finding ways to use and add value to cuts that we haven't maybe thought of as prime cuts in the past. What are some of the other trends that you're seeing or that you see going forward in terms of the meat counter and the restaurant experience when it comes to beef?
In terms of trends, we're really seeing a consumer demand for a knowledge or an understanding of where the product is coming from. More and more consumers and certainly also restaurant operators and chefs are really trying to get as close as possible to the source, to the farm, so that they can share that passion with their clientele, and it also really shows that care that they're putting into sourcing the product. So we really, I guess, connect with chefs in that way by bringing them to producers, to shaking hands with farmers and ranchers here in Canada, and then taking them to the packing houses to show them the world-class standards that are in place. And so I think more and more people want to know where their food comes from. They want to know that there's a level of care in it, and that it's clean, that it's safe, that it's healthy to eat, and that's a big part of what we do at the center.
All right, very cool. Thanks for your time, Matthew.
Much pleasure. Thank you very much.